Brawl of the Champions. Alright, if you're just joining us here at the cast, guys, welcome, hello, it's the OlimoLeague. It's now tied up 1-1 in this best of 3, so that means this game decides it all, who goes on to the semifinals. I am Rifkin, of course, casting today with Namshar, and spawning here in the bottom left corner of the map. It's going to be MVP's Red Terran, center.
And in the top right, we've got our pink Terran player, currently teamless. It is Keen.
So I was a little bit curious, decided to hit up the brackets before getting into this. It looks like a Revival did beat State 2-0, which
Okay.
I would say is kind of impressive for Revival. It's so weird to say this because it sounds kind of condescending. State's a foreigner and all that, I know, but Revival's just not had great PvZ lately. Like every time I feel like I've seen Revival play ZVP, it's a loss. No matter what the score is, it's always a loss. So
Yeah, I've always had the impression that his CVP is like outdated, kinda like.
yeah, he still plays kind of like this older school, like back in say early 2014. But anyways, the reason I bring this up, guys, is Impact versus Revival are playing out in the quarterfinals, and the winner of that plays this in the semifinals. I'm gonna try and put a request in that we cast both the semifinals this week to see if we get more games for y'all to enjoy. But that's kind of the way it's shaping up, just as a heads up. Bottom half of the brackets, we got Ryung versus True. The winner of that plays against Myungsik. Myungsik and Yanghua are probably the two most prominent Protoss players when it comes to the OlimoLeague. And Alive versus Hunter in the very, very, very southern part of the brackets.
Hunter, that's an interesting name to hear. I've heard that before, but
I think that's that ghost guy. I don't know. I know I've seen that name before, but I always misassociate it.
Ghost? Okay.
Anyways.
Yeah.
This being Daybreak really brings back old memories of this third base getting sieged up and then someone pushing up this ramp. I mean, it's so nasty. What is nice, though, is it's not nearly as feasible to, I guess, pull off that same level of siege tank harass like we saw in Akalon Waste in game number 1. It's still possible to siege tank harass. It's always possible, but just not as easy to get the free damage in, I guess.
Yes, I agree with that. Good point. It's harder to tank harass, but maybe more potent for doom drops. Like you just go on that high ground and you just fly into the main. So that could be a thing maybe as well.
It's just thinking about this game, just generally speaking here, like, including past OlimoLeagues. I look at this game, I look at map number 3 here, and I'm like, man, Center's got really good macro. Like, if he can just be left alone or play super defensive, like maybe he just overtakes Keen through I don't know, I guess the longer version of the game. But Keen said, like, the best siege tank positioning I've ever seen in a TVT in 2 games back to back. Even though he didn't win that first one, it was still really sick. So I kind of feel like this is the map where if Keen plays off 2 bases and doesn't try to play the macro game, that might just be his best bet to actually take a victory here.
Yeah. It kind of feels like that. Like Center maybe a bit more mechanically solid, but Keen maybe more strategically minded, like clever decision making and so on. But SCV comes into scout now for Keen. Gets out as well. Doesn't really see anything, but I guess he was. I don't know what he was scouting for. What do you expect to scout with that SCV?
I guess just trying to see if the depot wall is up or not. I mean, you want to see if you can actually feasibly run by with Hellions, maybe. I mean, he didn't open with Hellions, though, which is why I'm like, I don't know either. Question mark.
Yeah.
Because he had started. I think he had started with a Widow Mine. Did he actually finish it? Yeah. Okay, so he's got the Widow Mine out. Following up with like an awkward amount of Hellions, because like there's that 1-1-1 build, right? But that's not even what this is, so I'm not quite sure what Keen was doing with it. But I have faith, Namshar. Medivac can get a lot done in the early game.
Yeah, he's Medivac dropping, but he's also last time he did this build, I think it was game 1. He went for a fast command center, but now he's gone for a second gas. So is he gonna follow up like with a 1-base push?
I don't know. That SU just barely missed this drop, though, and that's a little unfortunate. Now, I think Center's prepared for something. He doesn't know what. Banshee will time out where I think it'll just end up staying at home. So I guess this medevac comes in. The Banshee might just turn around.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see. Well, drop comes in now. Oh, Widowmine in the drop. Yeah, okay. It's gonna burrow, but it's gonna get Fox fired. Yeah, I don't know about this. It's not gonna work out for him at all.
Just slaughtering the Marines, coming out one at a time. Yeah, it doesn't quite work. So the Banshee can happily go across the map. It's going around to a Viking, though.
Does he see it? No! Keen!
There we go. This turret's going up at home. This shouldn't be too problematic. This Banshee might be a bit of a nuisance, but Cloak is so close to finishing.
Oh my god, it's not gonna. Wow. That's
9
that
seconds
hurts,
out.
man. He's not gonna cancel Clo? What? What?
Wait, I think
he's
no,
making a Raven.
Okay, so not
You
canceling
what?
Cloak, I don't feel is like the biggest deal in the world. It is 100 minerals, 100 gas, kind of wasted, quote unquote. But Cloak Banshees can really make a nice comeback in the late game. They're great at picking off siege tanks more than anything else. I mean, yeah, I know they get mostly viewed as like this early game harass-oriented unit. The truth be told, that's where Banshee's strengths are, but they do have their place outside of the early game harass. So maybe this isn't the worst idea. I agree. I think it would have been better to perhaps cancel it. But
yeah, it seems like he's definitely going to use it in the early game though, and I think that was his plan all along after the Raven to go back into Banshees, because I guess he did see that there's no Raven, right? So sure, there's turrets, but it's not going to get shut down as easily if there's no Raven. So he's gonna keep making Banshees and just try to get some SCVs, some SCV kills to try to get ahead in the economy. As his second command center finishes up, and Keen's almost finished. And Keen going up to, again, 3 barrack. We haven't really seen any quick 3cc play. I don't know, I've seen that quite a lot recently, but these guys just going like up to 3 racks real quick, getting their production going ASAP.
So just 2 things while we wait for this to come out, guys. First, I want to give a big old thank you to Pig. I know it was a little while ago. Nathanius as well. Both of them hosting us for their viewers. Thank you, guys. That's really cool, both of you.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Secondly, I know it's flipping early, guys. It's like 5:19 in the AM. This is normally like 20 minutes after the OlimoLeague used to start. So for those of you who have been up watching this whole time, great. For those who are just tuning in, good freaking morning. But as you point out with the Raven out, it's not too hard to clean up this Banshee. So bit of SCV damage done, not the end of the world. And this is kind of similar to that last game where it's a lot more even footing, I guess. No one's clearly far ahead, and no one opened the super cheesy opener.
Yeah, but again, though, kind of like these last games, Center again a bit ahead on SCVs, not by too many, 3 or 4, but that's the kind of thing that he's been able to. Yeah.
Never mind. Man, I always get so hyped about this because you're like, oh, it's a Widowbite, it's in the mineral line. Oh, but it's Terran and it kills 1 SCV, right? You're like, oh.
Yeah.
But the idea behind this, of course, the Widowbite weakens up the SCVs and the Marines will execute them, but yeah, it didn't quite go like that.
But yeah, Center's macro assist seems to be just slightly ahead all the time. Like, he's got that slight worker lead all the time, and he's kind of using that to spiral him into the mid game really well, getting a nice and high supply count. So we'll see in a few minutes from now if he's able to get that same supply lead as we saw on Aquilon Wastes.
Is this thing stuck? Are you for serial? Like, it looks like it should be able to move, but I think Keen's tank is stuck. Oh no, never mind. It's just flipping out for no reason.
Alright. Yeah,
like that's a big ramp. There's no reason to be stuck on that ramp.
Yeah.
But okay, so as Keen starts moving on, one of the big things, like, he hasn't had to use any energy on his Raven here. So what's really nice for him is he's actually got the energy to Secret Missile tanks. Secret Missile is probably the best and easiest way to clear out your opponent's tanks, of course. But there's some Banshees moving at the same time too. He's got to be careful it doesn't stay defenseless at home.
Yeah, there is a turret nicely positioned as well towards the refinery, not really in the middle of the mineral line, so he's gonna get some. He's gonna protect the SCVs really, really well. And Keen again being very aggressive, even though he's behind on supply. We saw that on the last map as well. He was able to make it work, even though he was kind of behind. So always gonna go for the Doom Drop, maybe. Center's on top of this stuff.
Yeah, he's gonna have to see this like beforehand. That's so many Marines waiting. Like, if he boosts, even if he boosts in, he's actually gonna get past this.
Oh god, he's not reacting. Oh, I think Center's watching his Banshee across the map.
This isn't gonna work. Like, he'll clean this up. Secret Missile's going down though.
Oh, has to pull the Marine away. Oh my god!
Nice Secret Missiles out of Keen. That takes out like a fourth of the army actually. And of course, racks up the SCV kills a little bit. Not a whole lot, but still not too bad out of that Raven. Drop though, really, really ineffective.
And at the same time, I think that's why Center is reacting a bit slowly there. His Banshee across the map was actually doing he found a soft spot, like above the turret, and he's got a fair amount of kills on that Banshee, 8 kills total, so SCV count still even. Maybe Center's not been paying too much attention to that, not really been making SCVs for a while. But he's gone up to 5 barracks, actually, from 3 to 5 without a third, so he's gonna be aggressive himself. Oh, goes for the big Doom Drop.
So here's the big thing for Center. His
the Hellions gonna see it.
he had an opening a few moments like where that +1 really worked, including that last fight. But now that +1 advantage is gone, and suddenly Keen can fight on even Marine footing. So it's not going to be quite so easy to clean up an attack this time. Or even take a lot himself. We already see Keen moving into position, ready to catch these medevacs.
Yeah, he did see the medevacs with that Hellion, so yeah, he's going to be ready for this big time. And center... He really wants to do something. Oh, this is a great position here. Oh my god, if he gets his siege tanks out... Why is he not dropping? Alright, he's
that's
dropping
so
now.
many siege... Oh my god, it didn't even register there. I saw the medevacs, like, that is so many siege tanks to have you on the front lines like this. There's not enough energy to double Seeker Missile any of them, so this Raven's just better off staying back.
Going down.
Keen though's gonna go for the counterattack at the same time. He's just like, screw it, so both places are gonna trade out their naturals. Although I think Center's gonna be a lot harder to break than Keen will be. Keen's a lot more Marine heavy. Center's more more tank heavy. Bit of a role reversal considering how we described these players at the start of this.
Yeah, and Keen did just lose 2 tanks as well that move commanded into the tank fire of Center. So yeah, definitely behind in that tank count. Yeah. So yeah, Center definitely got the better end of this because he's hitting the production line. He's got higher siege tank count, and Center didn't really lose SCVs right either. No, he's got 50 SCVs as 28. So if he ever breaks out of this, he's gonna be in a much better position.
I remember hearing about this on Reddit, but I forgot. Like for whatever reason, supply depots don't cause splash damage. Like look at that tank right on top of the fire. Like you couldn't get closer to that shot, and it's not taking any damage.
Wow, what the?
Another tank moving out of center.
Well,
yeah, this is starting to fall apart a little bit for Center here. This Viking's cleaning up all these medevacs, so he doesn't quite have that vision. You know, his defense is perhaps not the greatest in the world. I would love to see him actually just flip that CC over here and start trapping mules or something. But he's moving out once again with his medevacs. Both players stuck on one basis, essentially. So economy's matched, but Keen's got an upgrade lead on his Marines, and Center's got to book it. Like, he's going to lose everything on the side of the map.
Oh, wow. Yeah, Keen's doing this well. Gets the siege tanks and still has to contain. Center's going to try to break out now. He's got the flanking with some Marines.
Comes from the backside. Nice flank move. Splits the fire of those siege tanks. His own siege tank's stuck on the ramp, though.
Oh my god. Oh my god. There's like able to break it.
There's like 3 tanks that weren't firing because they're stuck on the ramp like idiots. The AI really not working out. He will break this, but this cost him so much to do so. He's down half the army supply. Like this is really painful.
He does have a really solid SCV count. He's up by 19 SCVs. So if he gets mining and if he gets the time, he's gonna be able to catch up. But you know, there's a big window for Keen where he's going to be able to be aggressive, and maybe Center realizes he wants to buy time maybe with this one medevac drop with 8 Marines in it. Maybe that's what he's thinking, but there's a lot of Vikings for Keen as well, so if he should be able to defend this no problem. And again, Keen has Marines in his main. He's been so good at like leaving units behind to deal with things like this.
Yeah. This is this medevac. It's getting a little bit desperate out of Center. More so like I feel like Center feels more pressured than he should, you know, like oh my god, but like there's no potential for a doom drop. There's not many medevacs out, but he's not able to prevent. Like his defenses on either front are not well fitted. Like he's out of position for the natural. He doesn't have enough in the main. Like this is really messy out of Center.
As a siege up right now, he doesn't have enough army. If he sieges up too late, he does get the
Center,
tank siege.
He can't even fight with Marines. Like being down upgrades is huge in TVT. Like other matchups, maybe you're like okay, it's a slight advantage, but Marine fire versus Marine fire, it's the biggest deal in the world. Move that tank!
Should have used the Seeker Missile on the other tank maybe, but it's hard for him to know. But okay, Marines stimming in. Don't know what their plan is.
I think he's just getting drawn by the fire. It's really annoying trying to hold position everything as a Terror player, but you know, the small upside is like he doesn't have a whole. Never mind. I take this back. There's no upside. Marine's going to stim in. SCVs are pulled. Center is perhaps going to get broken here. I don't know. He's going to try and break out of this, but this is going to cost him a lot of SCVs to do. So that's his lead, by the way, guys. Like he's not super behind. He drops on his opponent's mineral line while this is going on. So trading out the best he can. Still though, losing his SCVs, like as you pointed out, was like 19 ahead. Like that was his lead in this game. That was his biggest advantage because he's down in upgrades. He's actually, weirdly enough, ahead in army supply now, but it's, again, mostly Marines, something that are perhaps not the most efficient units for him to use right now, not until that +1 armor kicks in.
Yeah, at this point in the game as well, though, I think it's all going to come down to the engagement because I don't think it matters that much who's ahead in SCVs or not because the main for both players are mined out because of mules. Yeah, so they both have a third command center, but unless they can land that third command center, the highest CV count is not going to make any difference at all, really. So it's going to come down to how well they can trade with the armies that they have. And that fight Center just took when he broke out, that was pretty cost effective, and we see him being up in supply as a result of that. But if King can get that third down and mule that up, then he's going to be able to get that army back going. But, oh, is he going for the Doom Drop?
So
maybe.
I think
Center,
so.
that is.
It'll be like the first time ever Keen's out of position too. He's normally got Marines up here through every game today. But the upgrades are finally evened out. Keen's got his way to +2. If he can get that out, he's going to again be ahead in a big way. The reason upgrades matter so much more for Marines than any other unit in the game is they attack so fast, especially with Stim. Like, they don't have a big attack amount of damage, but they attack fast. So more upgrades is more attacks, more damage. So the idea, guys, is like if you're 2-1 versus 1-1, like you're going to have such a big lead when it comes to Marine fights.
Yes, definitely true. Or is it?
Nope. Well, yeah, it will be. Just
yeah.
But this is distracting. I mean, like, Center's gonna be like, "Oh, you're busy chasing my medevac in the middle of nowhere. Maybe I'll just go Doom Drop." And this is a huge Doom Drop. I mean, there's a lot of Marines here, but the biggest disadvantage to any Terran players, like, once your production starts getting screwed, that's when you're out of the game. Focus fires 2 of the medevacs immediately. Nice shots there out of Keen. Center's got a lot of units of these medevacs. He's got to get them out. There we go. That's a lot of Marines to tango with. He's on top of the command center. Keen's going to try and float it. Not going to work. Does go down. Now his production's in danger. He's going to lose his siege tank producing factory. Ooh, that's nasty.
2 siege tanks in the back.
I think
Center's army was really clumped there, so Keen should be able to break out of this. And
yeah, but the damage was done. I mean, losing the factory stings a lot. Losing the command center, that's those mules. I mean, this is so messy, but like not being able to produce tanks, damn sure, in a TVT.
Yeah, and they're dropping the third as well. Really nice drop by Santos. Gonna deny this mining is so important for Keen, even though he lost some production. He needs this money from the space, and all these Marines are so overstimmed or very low anyway.
Yeah,
Medevacs coming in now.
Medevacs cover this. He's actually a focused command center.
Oh, he doesn't.
He can take the Marine fight though. He's gonna win the ground fights. How many tanks did he kill though?
A lot of tanks. Yeah, nice pickup. Man, okay, this is close. Center is mining at his third, and Keen will be soon, but I guess that was just slightly more cost effective for Center. And like you said, he killed a factory, killed a barracks, killed the third command center, or the first command center, or whatever. Which means less mules, right? So it's gonna hurt the economy, even though the main is mined out. Having that energy from mules is very nice.
I actually kind of think it's less about the mules at this point, and more about the fact that like these guys have been scanning each other relentlessly all game.
Yeah, I guess.
He can't do that anymore.
Yeah.
This is actually, I gotta say, like, at this point, I kind of feel like Center, as long as he doesn't mess up, has got this game in the bag. But that's the thing, it's TVT, and you can mess up. You fly 7 medevacs, like, pull a bomber, right? Like, fly 5 medevacs over top of a Marine army or something, I don't know. But, yeah, the main's already been compromised pretty heavily. The production was really kicked in the nuts, so to speak. And Center's production, unhindered through all this, looks fantastic. Lots of reactors, lots of Marines. This drop in the main might not do the most.
Here we go, Doom Drop. Does he react in time? He's got a lot of Marines in position. He can focus fire the medevacs with a lot of units in him. Has to focus fire the medevacs. Oh, no.
I think it's 1, almost 2.
Oh, does he have enough? Oh man,
I don't think it's
focus
enough.
fire the medevacs sooner would have been so much better. But
each of these Marines has a personal healer.
Wow, he holds. Man, Keen always has.
It's that 2-1.
Good Marine count in his main.
Yeah, and it's that 2-1 upgrades like really show you just how powerful they can be, especially in this matchup. He's moving on towards 3-1. It sounds silly, guys. I've actually seen Marine King come back from terrible positionings like this because of his upgrade lead. I remember Zombie coming out like, why does he always go for this early +1? It makes no sense, blah, blah, blah. But so he can get a faster +3, weirdly enough. And for Center, or for Keen rather, that might just be his ticket back. I mean, the thing is, well, siege tanks are good. They're not good unsieged. If you can get Center off guard with better Marines, with more Marines, for even just one fight where those tanks aren't sieged, suddenly Keen gets back in this game in a big way. But it's a big if. It's going to be hard to do, but it's possible, and it does happen.
Well, this is awkward. I think Center's got way too many Marines there, even though Keen has the upgrade lead. I don't know about this.
Yeah,
like very nice. Is it gonna be enough to get away? Yeah, it should be.
The scary thing though is like,
high ground.
Center's on a 4th now, right? Like this is it's starting to spiral for Keen.
That's really big, that base. So it's it's basically 2 base mining versus 1 base mining now, which is huge. And he's up by 20 supply right now. So
and Center just keeps scanning because he can. He's allowed to. He's able to.
Keen does have a tank lead. So he's got a really nice tank out. So that's what he's got going for him. But way behind the Marines. Oh, taking this fight. I don't know. Keen being very aggressive here. Goes into the tank line.
Those upgrades, man. Those upgrades are kicking ass. But the reinforcements of center. It's a numbers game at the end of the day. And sometimes if you've just got 700 Marines, it doesn't matter what the upgrades are.
Just slide up into the natural. Wow. What a bold move. It's going to be able to pull it off. Maybe tanks on siege. That's where Keen's lead was. So yeah, these tanks, not
Keen comes from behind with more tanks. He breaks this center. Are you serious? Is Keen turning this around? Wow. Center just threw away like his entire army.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? Like when you're behind an economy, the only way for you to get back into the game is by taking cost-effective fights to make up for your disadvantage in economy. But yeah, that's exactly what Keen's been doing. It's wow, that's a lot of medivacs.
It is, but like if I was ever to like try and explain how big of a deal upgrades are in StarCraft 2, this is the game I would show them.
Yeah.
The thing, though, I am a little bit worried about, though, is Center's coming out with 2-2, and I think 2-2 is going to balance out really nicely for as far as these upgrades are concerned. But at the same time, like, this is going to be a hard fourth to hold. Before this was an advantage, now it's just a big target. He's going to lift it up and save it. All right, good choice, good choice. Keen takes his own fourth, though, behind this. I mean, this has been a really back and forth game. Like TVT in general is, but this has been a lot more back and forth than I thought it would be. Because it's not like, oh, it's a little bit to the left, a little bit to the right. It's like way to the left and then way to the right. Yeah.
Oh, big doom drop from Keen at the same time.
Center's not ready.
The mineral line.
He's trying to get up here though. He's gonna stim. I'm not sure it's gonna be enough though. This drop is huge.
That's a lot of tanks.
It is, but he's got to finish unloading. There we go.
Might be too many tanks. 4 of them left remaining there behind those medivacs.
There's no Marines. You just drop on top of the tanks, right? Like this. Marines are Keen's advantage. Marines are Keen's strength. It's now 2-1 versus 3-1. Keen still has a pretty big advantage in the Marine count, but I still think like even though that wasn't crazy damage in the main, he drove off the fourth. Well, he takes it. Like this is Keen, who's been behind in macro for like a majority of this game, finally catching up and finally taking a lead. Even I would argue. The misleading thing though is like we see 82 army supply out of Keen, but this is so much of that in medevacs, right? Like 14 medevacs, guys.
So many medevacs. Yeah, it's almost as many medevacs as Marines. It's crazy. Okay, so yeah, he's mining from his fort now. Keen is starting to anyway, and that's very important here. Center does have his fort, CC still up, but yeah, he's being kind of contained right now. And Keen's +2 armor is going to finish. There's going to be 3-2 versus 2-2, so that's a big deal as well. Not quite finished yet, though, so upgrade's pretty even right now. Center stims in. I'm not sure. There's so many medivacs for Keen. Those Marines are not going to die very easily.
No, they've each got like their own healer. Even tank fire, as we see. Not too bad, but Keen's going to fall back. I mean, I think he knows at this point, too, like we're talking 4 base and 3 base, but really it's like 2 base at the moment, 1 base almost. They're both mining out of their naturals, guys. Like this is such a low Egon situation for what is 32 minutes in the game. For what is having 4 bases, they really don't have a lot of money. It's almost like they've been leapfrogging ahead 1 base at a time. It's been 1 base versus 1 base this entire game, even though it doesn't look like it.
Well, here we go. Center pulling the SCDs to kind of break out of this stim.
He'll break it. He'll break it. He's going to pull his medevacs back. Keen's going to lose a lot of medevacs here for free if he's not careful.
Oh, they have +2 armor for Keen essentially though. He's got an upgrade lead 3-2 versus 2-2.
I think
Marines, man, they're not dying.
Break it. Yeah, the Marines are spread so nicely too. This is ridiculous.
Well, they're fighting with so few units at such a late stage of the game. It's just what a TVT. I'm just sitting here smiling, man. This is such a good game.
Well, the thing that blows my mind though is this medevac count is so like it was so out of hand. The fact that it was brought down. It wasn't a big deal. Like neither of these players maxed out. Keep in mind, like the supply cap for both of them is 161. I mean, this isn't a situation where you're going with like this crazy doom drop. So it kind of sucks they did lose those medevacs. But at the same time, like this does better supply should he continue advancing in the game to like a max supply cap, I guess. I don't know. Yeah. It's weird just the way this has come so far. But Keen, you're right with this upgrade leads. I mean, 3-2. Again, it might not seem like that big of a deal to most people, but if you've been paying attention at all this game, it should tell you that 3-2 is everything compared to 2-2.
Yeah, and Stars +3 armor as well, so whenever that finishes, that's going to be an incredibly big deal, because Center doesn't really have the money to start, you know, any further upgrades right now. You know, he's not going to be able to start his own 3-3, so
for the first time, it's really 2 base versus 1 base, right? I mean,
yeah.
And actually, Cinder is so heavily mined out. He's actually going to mine out. He's going to have no more income soon. The clock is ticking, and I think Keen, as long as he just plays safe, he wins through attrition.
Yeah, and he's got the tanks in nice positions here, and even a Viking. Center doesn't have any Vikings to deal with the Viking of Keen, so that's a awesome
right.
tank. Wow.
One Viking is doing. He's out of minerals, man. These last 4 patches are all he's got left. He's got to take a base.
Center's getting desperate. It's going to put double medivac drop into the main of Keen, but Keen, that Marine might spot it. Oh, I think he's going to see it. Yeah, does see it on the minimap. I hope he's paying attention.
That might just be a rally. I think it's just a rally. I don't think he saw this. Let's be honest. There's so much going on in Center's national right now. Like, it makes sense that he missed this, but Center Tower is not going to give it away. And Center, you know what? Here's the thing. His opponent might have a better economy, but if he can strip away that production, then the economy won't matter.
Yeah, well, Keen does have a siege tank here. He's going to siege that up, and he does have the slight upgrade lead on these Marines, but no medivac healing them, so Center might be able to...
This has not been controlled at all. He just kind of like A-moved it, so it gets cleaned up so easily.
Alright.
Damn sure, I think Keen's about to do it. Like, he is seriously moments away from winning this game. Like, whenever these patches time out, so will Center's life.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, you know what? This is like when the Terran player has the base straight and they float a CC in the top left corner of the map, but it's burning, right? So you're like, it's just a matter of time until you win.
Kinda, yeah, what a map. Okay, Doom drop, alright. Tank's gonna siege up, that's a great position.
It really is. And again, those upgrades going to let him win this Marine fight so one-sidedly. GG going to be called, ladies and gentlemen. Keen.
Oh, wow.
Keen's going to take it.
That was a sick game. Holy crap.